Have you ever felt like your child's blood sugar is stuck on high no matter what you do? You give an insulin correction, you wait, nothing. Hours later, they're still high. It feels like no matter what you do, their numbers just won't budge. You check ketones, and thankfully they're fine. You give even more insulin, and they're still high. Like, what is going on? Trust me, I've been there, staring at my son's CGM graph, wondering if the insulin is even working. Like, did I inject him with water? But here's the thing. There are real reasons that this can happen and ways to fix it. Stick around because I'm breaking down the 4 biggest reasons highs last for hours, and the last one is one that most parents don't even think about. As a parent managing T1D and my son daily, I know how frustrating this can be. You do everything right, and their numbers still just don't come down. So after a lot of trial and error, I figured out what actually works, and I'm sharing that with you here today. First, let's talk about insulin resistance. Sometimes highs aren't budging because the body isn't absorbing insulin efficiently. This can happen due to illness, even if they don't even seem like they're sick yet. Growth spurts, because toddlers and young kids aren't chaotic enough already, right? Stress, lack of sleep, and even hormones. So how do you fix this? If they're sick or growing, then your child may actually need a temporary basal increase. Don't be afraid to adjust insulin needs. Be sure to consult your doctor before making any changes because I'm not providing any medical advice. If your child is on a pump, make sure to check infusion sites to make sure insulin is actually getting in. Make sure that your child is hydrated because water, especially with electrolytes, is absolutely key to making sure that insulin can absorb effectively. Water helps insulin work better, so encourage small sips throughout the day. But insulin resistance isn't the only reason highs won't come down. The next one, I used to make this mistake all the time. Have you ever rage bolus because a high just won't come down, only for it to crash later? Stacking insulin happens when you give multiple corrections before the last dose has had a chance to fully work. You can fix this by knowing your child's insulin duration. For my son, his insulin usually lasts around 3 hours. Most rapid-acting insulins take around 3 to 4 hours to fully work. If correcting before the last dose has finished, consider smaller follow-up doses instead of a full correction. Now, if that parental instinct just lets you know that, hey, they're going to need however many units to come down, okay, go ahead and give it. Just be prepared to catch that insulin on the downslope. And I'm sure, just like my son, he's happy to participate in any shenanigans when I am trying to catch a fall with some food. Absolutely loves when this happens. If your child's on a pump, then you actually can use a temporary basal increase for stubborn highs instead of stacking doses. The highs don't stick around just because of insulin timing. Sometimes it's what they ate that keeps them high for hours. Have you ever noticed how pizza, ice cream, or their favorite French fries from McDonald's keeps them high for hours? That's fat delaying digestion. Your child's body is still processing food long after the insulin has run its course. You can fix this by extending the bolus if your child is on a pump to match digestion timing. If there are multiple daily injections or MDI, consider splitting the dose. Part before the meal and then part later. Track patterns. If high-fat meals cause predictable highs, then adjust next time. And finally, sometimes highs aren't budging because insulin isn't getting absorbed properly. Infusion sites can kink, leak, or just stop working. Injection sites can form scar tissue over time, reducing absorption. Be sure to rotate your child's site. Do not inject in the same spot too often. If your child is on the pump, consider changing the site because that could be one of the reasons why they're having a stubborn high because of absorption issues at that current site. You can always manually inject a correction dose if you suspect that there's an issue. So the next time your child blood sugar run high and they just won't come down, try this. Check for insulin resistance. Think sickness, growth spurts, or stress. Watch out for high-fat meals causing delayed spikes. Check pump sites or injection spots for issues, and make sure that you're not stacking insulin too soon. Has your child ever had a high that just won't come down? Drop your experience in the comments. I'd love to hear how you handled it. I hope this helped. Stick around for more T1D parenting tips, and I'll see you in the next video.